We're here to cover both slave and master mentality. So come join me in this journey to go and search out more about it. Some of us have heard of it, others are so trapped in it, they don't even know it. Do you have a master mentality? The whole reason as to why it started was to portray different sides. Show is one stronger and known than the other, and keep it that way. This has been going on for many, many years. White people are the ones in control. They took over most of Africa, including its inhabitants. Why didn't they fight, you might ask? Well, the answer to that are three simple words: guns, germs, and steel. That's when suffering, discrimination, and chaos started, but this is just the tip of the iceberg. Come follow me to find out more about this. Now that we have covered about master mentality, let's go back to finding out more about slave mentality. So what can you tell me about master mentality?
Master mentality was first depicted in 1619. That's when slavery started. Master's mentality is when people want to become educated, wealthy, so they can put those under slave mentality below them. They essentially want to have control over them.
I have recently researched about the master mentality, but can you tell me about the slave mentality?
Well, it's mostly negative. Many people are under the influence of the slave mentality. Those who are under the influence are committing crimes, doing drugs, uneducated, and a lot more. It's been engraved into many young people's minds.
Okay, that's a really tough question because it has to do with how people think. There's some people that like to think they're masters and tell other people what to do, and there's some people that are used to following orders, and that's a slave mentality. And I know there's times in our history over the last few hundred years, unfortunately, and some of it still happens today, where there are people who are treated like slaves, and if they say anything, they get beaten up or they get abused, and that's difficult. But sometimes, even if you're a free person, you have the mentality of somebody who takes orders and follows. And I think what we try to do, and certainly at George Harvey, we try to do that. We try to teach people to think freely, to think like free people, where you make your own choices, and you have the mentality of somebody who can do something. I think as human beings, we have to try to make sure that everybody feels like they can make their own decision, and they don't have the slave mentality where they feel they have to follow orders without thinking. Now, obviously, sometimes people take it too far, and they ask and they challenge too many things, so you have to learn to work as a group. But by and large, we have to be able to make good decisions. That includes following orders where necessary or where it's best for the survival of the group. But to do that as a free thinking person who does not have a slave mentality, because God has given us free will and we need to exercise that properly. And everybody's human rights should be the same, where we all feel like decent human beings.
So, slave mentality is basically having a black mindset that we can't reach goals to the fullest of our ability, right? Like, slave mentality is basically like 15-year-old kid having babies at 15, you know, us smoking weed, you know, living in trap houses, all that stuff. Basically, slave mentality because we don't think we're better than that. We don't think we can reach higher or anything. So we just adapt to the things that we see every day, the things that we see other black people do. We don't try to do higher stuff that, you know, we did while we were slaves. The reason we're slaves because white people overpowered us because we had the same mindset as that.
Slave mentality is it's like a box that we put ourselves into. Okay? You know, it's not necessarily, you know, when you talk about the mentality, it's the state of mind, the way, you know, you think, the way you put yourself into. Take for example, you know, if you, you have to do, you have to do things, you know, to survive. And you do not price yourself. You know, you do not price yourself according to your worth. Okay, you let people take advantage of you, and then you think it is okay. That's, you know, something that you can consider as a slave mentality. It's not being a slave, but, you know, being slave to what you're supposed to be doing. Okay, so that's some people take, for example, some people work really smart. Really? Some people work very hard and they don't get much. If you work smart or you work smartly, then your reward is going to be greater. But if you have this slavery mentality whereby you just work and work and work for peanuts, you work so hard, but what you're doing, you don't put enough value on it so that you can gain the biggest reward. That's slavery mentality.
We have seen both sides of slave mentality, master mentality. A lot of questions comes into mind, like, is there gonna ever be a difference? Is it still gonna be the same, or is it just gonna keep going just the way it is? Has been ingrained in many young minds, but we are all different. We can make a change for that. And only to prove this, we're gonna send you a quick video. Like, we're gonna show you a video that involves basically what we're talking about, and clearly by the looks of it, you can see that it still hasn't changed. So at the end of the day, the only person that will make a difference will be you. It all starts with you.
She think I'm stealing. She think I'm stealing. Look. Don't you hate when you're inside a store and the cashier starts following you? Like, I'm not gonna steal all of it, just some of it, bitch. Like, she been following me around the store the whole time. There she goes. She think I'm stealing.